All right. Welcome to Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? Tonight, this evening, whatever it is. Hope everybody's well. Um, Big things going on today. Um, Shlomo, he ended up in Poland. That's good. He said some unintelligible babble that I'm not even going to play because I don't want to give it a time of day. Because that dude is just, he's what a screwy mess. You know, it's obviously it's if it hasn't become abundantly apparent to everybody out there that Joe Biden does not give a damn about Americans at all, then it should become apparent this week. This week should have sealed the deal for everybody. You know, we have some damages going on in this country that I don't even like. I've said I've gone on this thing. You know, this is the third time I'm addressing it. If you're in East Palestine, get out. I don't care if Trump showed up. That was stupid of him to show up there. Now it shows that I don't know what that he's willing to do anything to get a promotion. Maybe he saw a window because Biden's overseas that he shows up. I don't know. I think he does care. I do think he does. I think he also cares a lot more about, he's a megalomaniac. I mean, he cares about, he cares about the people, but I think that the reason that he does a lot of times is because it's an image thing. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know. I sure wish that he was in office right now. I could tell you that much, because we would not have the state of things that we have, it wouldn't, the world, at least this country wouldn't be this way right now. I mean, he did, yeah, I don't agree with everything he did. Of course not. I mean, I was never a big Trumpster. I'm still not I'm not a big Trumpster, but, look at what we got. Look at what we're dealing with right now. I mean, this is ridiculous. We got a guy that falls upstairs, falls off stationary bikes, can't talk, crackhead kid. It's ridiculous. And then when the country actually needs the dude to be there, I mean, he talks about born and raised in Scranton, PA. Well, you know what? Where all these chemicals were dumped is right over the state line from Pennsylvania. You can't tell me that those people in Pennsylvania that are like 8-9 miles away weren't affected by that stupid ass blast they put off. I mean that's once that's in jet stream, you've got big snows coming. I mean, that's going to be all up in, you're going to have like acid snow. I mean, that put out phosgene, which is that's a chemical they used in World War I, that if you were to bomb somebody with something like that, it would be a violation of the Geneva Conventions. Yet we just let some idiots that just spilled the shit all over the place just light it on fire. That and hydrochloric acid. That's what comes from vinyl chloride. Yeah. The shit that you saw on Breaking Bad when they dumped that one dead guy in a vat, or any other gangster movie, whatever that you see. Yeah, that's the stuff. Hydrochloric acid, also known as muriatic acid, and they also refer to it as nitrogen chloride, which sounds a little bit better, right? I would encourage you to look up how PVC pipe is made. I watched a whole thing on that today, and it's pretty damn crazy. And there's only a number of plants, and one of them I think happened to be in Ohio, which is probably where that stuff was going. Along with the other, 4 or 5 other cocktail chemicals that were in that whole mess. Let's just light it on fire. That'll do. Nobody look into anything. Just let's light it on fire. Hey, 20 train cars full of chemical and shit. Yeah, fuck it. What'd they call it? A controlled burn? Yeah, that looked like a controlled burn, didn't it? I mean, if there's anything controlled, look at this. Yeah, that plume of smoke there next to old Mayor Pete. Don't worry, East Palestine. Fucking Mayor Pete's on his bicycle. Him and Pee Wee Herman are on their way. Jesus Christ. If this guy, and this guy's taking personal time. They were trying to interview him today. This dude he refers him to the interview that he had given earlier, and he said, I'm taking personal time. And he went about his business. It doesn't matter. This is his business. He's the Secretary of the Department of Transportation for the entire United States. If this isn't his business, then what the fuck is? When he was needed before, when we were going through the whole, the whole supply chain thing, when you had hundreds of cargo ships that were anchored outside Los Angeles because they didn't have workers, and then they were loading up the train cars, and people were just hanging out and just jumping up there with bolt loppers and just lopping the doors open and just chucking packages out because we have a huge homeless problem that no one wants to take care of. You got Gavin Newsom out there in California. He doesn't give a shit. He just wants to go out to his fancy French restaurant and, like I said, that guy is like the drunk cousin that you don't want to show up at Thanksgiving, He shows up and everybody just goes, oh, God, not this fucking guy again. Jesus Christ, And they're talking about him making a presidential run or whatever. Boy, that'll go well. But what do the Democrats have? They got Joe Obama. I mean, this guy, how are you going to take off and just fly on over to, no one's saying anything. Why isn't anybody saying anything about this shit? Why isn't anybody saying anything about the fact that we're spending $206,000 an hour baseline for Air Force One to be in the air? This guy single-handedly, within 10 minutes of taking office, ruined the petroleum business in this country, and also ruined a bunch of jobs in Canada by shutting down the Keystone Pipeline. It's already, Cy Hirsch came out and he had to okay the blowing up of the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. We did that, not Russia. They came out, oh yeah, Russia blew up their own pipelines. Bullshit. We put sanctions on Russia, and the way Russia was making money was by moving that natural gas and just telling people, hey, look, you're not paying us in petrodollar, you're paying us in rubles. Go to your local bank or your hardware store and get your fucking money converted. And the ruble became the highest performing currency on the planet after Joe Biden implemented his sanctions, which he assured us when he was in Ukraine on Monday that there's more coming. Well, they did so good the first time. Let's do it again. And let's let the railway company that spilled shit all over everywhere, that spilled 100 million gallons, 100 million pounds of goddamn vinyl chloride, benzene, and all these different kind of acrylates all over the ground. Let's let them clean it up. We'll just let them figure it out because they did such a good job transporting it. The train was only on fire for 45 minutes, at least, according to the camera that caught it when it went by and it was on fire. It was probably on fire well before that. I mean, it takes a lot to, burn that hot to melt a fucking axle or a wheel on one of those trains. And nobody really knows what it is. Nobody probably will ever know if it was, if you had a locked up axle, locked up brakes, whatever. You're dragging a train car down the goddamn tracks at whatever speed. And if that's not moving, it's a little thing called friction. Hence the sparks, hence the fire, hence the derailment. There was a derailment in Wyoming the other day. There was another one not too long ago in Michigan. There's one in Nebraska. I started doing some homework on this, and it turns out that on average, there's about 1,700 train derailments in the United States every year. Did you guys know that? I had not a clue. I figured this was you don't hear about them. They said most of them don't happen like at the train yard when they're hooking up, so they're not that big of a deal. They just, whatever. I don't know what they come out with a crane, get it put back on there. One would think, with all the technology we have, I'm sitting here right now live streaming to you from the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. It is, I don't even know what the temperature is outside right now. It is butt ass cold. We're in the middle of a blizzard. All right, at least the one thing isn't doing its thing, and I'm not allowed to say it because as soon as I do, it'll start. I'm at minus 12 degrees right now. And it looks about 10 o'clock that one thing's going to come up. And it's going to get down to, oh my God. Okay, tomorrow, 7 a.m., minus 23 degrees here in Coyote, Wyoming. What I'm saying is with this technology that we have, I'm sitting here and I'm able to live stream to you guys. And we can't keep trains on. We have 1,700 train derailments a year. We can't figure out a way to keep a fucking train on the track. I mean, whew. We have not gone that far. And here's what I've been saying, ladies and gentlemen. If we have something happen, God forbid, if we have something happen like an EMP, right? This is why I kind of agree with them not shooting down the stupid fucking balloon. Everybody's talking about what a horrible thing it is that we let it go across the country for 8 days. Well, good God. There's satellites up there that can read my license plates right now, probably through the snowstorm from outer space. So we have the balloon. Okay, well, you know, oh, it flew over Montana. Okay, great. Like a satellite can't fly over fucking Montana? Like you can't Google Earth it? Like you can't get online and find a real-time satellite. What is the deal with balloons? That's what I want to know. Here we are in this technological era, right? We've got all this AI stuff that's come about. We have these crazy computers that can do wild shit. We've got these phones that have, I mean, this thing right here. I have a box out there of encyclopedias, and that was what I had to go to for information. I can get anything right here. Oh, software update. Yeah, I don't want a software update. Thank you. I mean, anything. There is no reason for a kid to be failing school. I don't understand with my kid why he has a hard time, because it's got every bit of information. You can put in a math problem. You can put whatever you want to in this device, and it'll give you the answer. I look up, I mean, all I do all day is sit there and do research and look shit up, you know? I mean, it's all day, every day. And it's great. I mean, the information is wonderful. I mean, I don't use, you know, I mean, I'm here and there on the social media. I don't fuck around with it too much unless I'm going on a diatribe or a rant. I put my my little homemade memes out on the Twitski, the Tweeter, because I think they're funny. Apparently nobody else does. I don't know. You don't think that was a funny meme that I put up there with Mayor Pete on his bicycle going out there to Ohio? I thought that was, I don't know. I thought it was clever. I should remake that though and put Pee Wee Herman right next to him on it. Right? That'd be better. I'm going to pull that up one more time. Come on. You got to give this a thumbs up. Come on. This took me time to do. Look at that. Come on. Tell me that's not funny. There's the Secretary of Transportation. He's on his way to save the day. Look at that plume of smoke going up. That looks like a nuclear disaster. That looks like Nagasaki or Fukushima. It looks just as bad as any place that's been bombed. And if you see the actual explosion of that shit, it's even worse. Once again, people, I don't care that Trump showed up. Get your asses out of that area. You don't understand what it is you're dealing with. I don't care what the EPA says. I don't care what their testing says. They're not going to give you an adequate, an adequate test or reading or anything. Trust me, this is bad. This is bad. So I'm going to have to do the Jen Psaki and reiterate this again. Get the hell out of there. Find out which way the wind's blowing and drive right into it. If they're giving out $1,000 for every adult, go get your $1,000. If they're giving it for your kids, go get the $1,000. Get as much as you can out of them and go, because Biden said already that he's not going to put any money into your place. You guys are on your own. Now, Trumpster apparently with his appearance, that kind of kicked FEMA's ass in gear. So maybe FEMA's going to come out there and give you guys some action, but let them deal with it. You don't understand. This stuff is bad. It's in your water source. It's in the air. It's in everything. Everything you have is contaminated. And Trump's talking about donate. They brought however many, a plane load or whatever, a semi-truck load of cleaning supplies. Great. It's not going to help you. This stuff has a half-life of around 7 to 10 years once you've ingested it. So anybody there in East Palestine has already ingested this shit via vapors through the smoke, through water, whatever. It's settled on everything. It's settled on your house. It's settled in your house. It's gone through your car, through the ventilation system in your car. It's cold. It's wintertime. You've probably been driving around with your heater on. Guess what? Guess what's happening there? It's getting sucked up and it's spitting right back in your face. I'm not sure what the temperature is out there, but it's probably not nice. And it looks like there's a blizzard headed towards your direction. And that's only going to make it worse. What's that blizzard going to pick up? It's going to pick up all that shit and it's going to fucking dump it right on your heads. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not doing this for any glorification of myself or anything at all. I'm concerned. What do you think is going to happen when that blizzard comes through? I just saw it earlier. There's a blizzard that's going to be hitting Ohio. What do you think is going to be coming down in that snow? You guys already had toxic enough snow out there as is. Trust me, I've seen plenty of that stuff. Not that I've been there, but I've seen plenty of people doing testing on the snow in Ohio, and it's not good. I mean, you got all the steel mills and everything there. It's y'all are already in a bad situation out there with the pollution. And I'm not any kind of a leaf licking tree hugger or anything like that. But this is not good. As somebody who works around chemicals, has been around chemicals for a long time, this is not good. So I'm going to leave that alone. Looked like we had a nice little crazy shooting rampage in Orlando today. That's nice. And the Trumpster showed up in Ohio, and I think that was a stupid move. I don't know why he did that. I mean, I do know why, but it just seems like not a smart move. I mean, it's hard to believe that people out there don't understand what this shit is that just got unleashed on everything and the effect that it's going to have. I mean, get on Google Maps or whatever and look up the Ohio River. Check it out. See where it goes. Just saying. I mean, once this shit ends up in the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean, I mean, then it's going everywhere. Now they say that in the environment were they to have let this shit evaporate, which is hard to say what would have happened because the vinyl chloride has a boiling point of 8 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm assuming it was over 8 degrees Fahrenheit when this thing derailed. I don't know what the temperature was. However, once it derails, once the container is breached and the shit's slopping out everywhere, it's basically boiling gas. But what you don't do is light it on fire and go from having vinyl chloride to having hydrochloric acid and phosgene. I mean, if those two chemicals were unleashed on somebody in warfare, it would be a war crime. Now, I don't understand why war isn't a crime anyways. I think that war should be a fucking crime, to tell you the truth. Period. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for us to just, we send our young people over and kill brown people for oil so fat assholes can get rich for the fucking Bushes and Obama and come on. This is why I always encourage people if you got kids that are of age to make a decision to go in the military, do everything you can to keep them going. And I know there's a romanticism to it. My granddaddy served, my dad served, blah, blah, blah. Freedom isn't free, and it's got nothing to do with that. We live in a different world. There's no reason. I mean, we have all these technological advances. We're so sophisticated now, yet we're so goddamn stupid that it's just incredible to me how stupid we are. Why in the world do we got to put soldiers anywhere? We've got drones that'll do whatever the hell we want them to do. There's no reason for it. It's posturing. It's all about power. It's the same reason why people run for office. I mean, you got to think about it. What does it take to run for president? What kind of mentality does it take to want to be the president of the United States? You got to be a pretty big narcissist. You got to be a megalomaniac. You got to think that you're really something, that you're going to be the guy. But you're not the guy. You know, the deep state is the guy. Those assholes that have been there forever. The 51 idiots that signed that letter saying that that Biden's kid's laptop was Russian disinformation. And now he's had to come out and say that, in fact, it was his. Now all of a sudden he remembers. He didn't remember when they interviewed him on live TV. I don't know. There may have been a laptop. It might have been mine. Maybe it did. Maybe it was. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. If you read my book, you'll see I wasn't in a very good, what do you say? I wasn't really keeping track of things very well. Well, yeah. Like your gun that ended up in a dumpster across the street from a high school next to a fucking busy grocery store. Yeah. That the Secret Service had to come get. Oh, wait, no, we don't know if the Secret Service. No, even though it's recorded that he called Daddy or whatever and said that they needed to come down there and help him find his ill-gotten gun that he, committed perjury to obtain so he can wander around naked and videotape himself with a gun. Dude, quit videotaping yourself naked. Put some clothes on or turn the video camera off or something, man. I've never seen such a thing. I mean, never. Who does that type of... I mean, that's just weird. Just, we just go in the house and, naked time, turn on the camera. Everybody wants to see this. I don't think so. Guys on video paying off Russian hookers and everything else. What a fucking joke. Then this is your guy, America. This is your guy. 81 million of you voted for him. 82, however many. Good job. Way to go. Democracy. Wow. Yeah, democracy's awesome, huh? How's that working out for you? How's that working out, Ohio? Democracy. You know how stupid people are. You get a number of people to believe something. You get a group of them to buy into something, and then you got people that don't necessarily know if they buy into it or not, but they're gonna buy into it because they don't want to be on the outside of the herd. It's herd behavior. Everybody wants to be accepted. Everybody wants to be part of the bunch, part of the baseball bunch with Johnny Bench. Why do you think it is we only have 2 parties? Look at other countries. 4 or 5 different political parties. I honestly don't think we need a political party at all. I don't think we need politics. That's why you look at my stuff. I'll straight up say it. I mean, I'm an anarchist. And I know that's a terrible word. But anarchy is not representative of those idiots that burn down cities. They called those people anarchists. Those are not anarchists. Anarchists are not violent. Anarchy does not buy into harming another person or their property. It's about peace, and it's about being sovereign over oneself. That's it. What's so wrong with that? Being in charge of your own life. I mean, we're all grown up. Do you really need these people taking your money before you even get paid? If taxes were such a good thing, folks, if taxes were so good, if it was such a great thing for you to pay taxes, wouldn't you be able to understand the tax code? I'd be willing to bet that most of your accountants don't even understand the tax code. There's that many pages to the goddamn thing. So if it was such a good thing, though, wouldn't you be allowed to, get your full paycheck, and then you could take your paycheck, and then if the taxes are such a great thing, then you can take it and send them a check. Same with your Medicare, your Social Security, your workers' comp, all those things that they take out before you even get paid. You don't have any say in that. That's theft. Because guess what? If you somehow get around that, all of a sudden you're in trouble. You're going to a cage, buddy. And then they say, everybody, oh, well, it's for the roads and derpy. Oh, really? Go drive around Los Angeles. Tell me how the roads are. Hell, we've got problems here in this stupid town. I mean, you know, we all pay taxes. I mean, 5 cents in Wyoming, 5 cents of every dollar you spend is the state sales tax. It snows. There ain't a snowplow to fucking be seen. Where are they at? What are they supposed to be doing? What do they do all year? I mean, you know, it snows for a couple months of that year, and you'll see them in May or June out there driving around on the highway with the fucking plow on the front of the truck. And you're like, what the fuck are these guys just burning fuel? Ain't no reason for them to be out there. But boy, it snows, and I tell you what, the roads aren't plowed in this town. I saw a guy out there the other day. He was driving a big ass. This wasn't even a city vehicle. It was a big ass grader. It looked to me to be a private vehicle. It didn't have any logos, nothing on it. It was an old yellow fucking cat grader. And he's going down the street right there by where the buses stop for the kids. And around the school. Nothing else got any. And all he did was pile it up in the middle of the road. It's snowing like a motherfucker, and there's nobody out there. You know? In the city of Cody. Oh, we don't have the money. We can't afford it. They're sitting down there playing cards right now, drinking coffee. Eating ho-hos and ding-dongs and pastries and shit. Come on. They don't care. In this town, every year this happens. There's your taxes at work. You'd think with the amount of money that, I mean, I don't know. I spend quite a bit of money. I mean, for a nickel for every dollar, I mean, who knows? I'd have to go through bank statements and shit to figure out what I've spent at you know, the Walmart. Because that's really, I mean, what do you have around here? You got Walmart, you got Baumgartner, you got Albertsons. You know, and that's about it. You know, we've given this town away to Walmart. Ran all the little businesses out of town, you know. But that's okay. That's great. At least we have the Walmart, you know. God damn her. Go get some poison. Go eat some poisonous food. It's going to get worse now. I mean, there was another building that blew up out there in Ohio, you know. I mean, there was another explosion down in Florida. I mean, I don't know what's going on here, but it's not good. I would suggest if you have the capabilities, I'm going to try and do this. It's, you know, springtime is around the corner. I'm going to try and get out there and build some, like some raised beds that the deer can't get into. And, you know, plant some shit this year, I guess. You know, anything helps. I wish I had the property to, you know, to buy a couple of calves, but so it goes. It's neither here nor there. Anyhow, yeah. So I don't know when old what's his face is going to come back. Maybe what Trump did today, maybe that's going to be the boot up the ass for old Onion Head to do something. But he don't give a shit. He doesn't care. This guy doesn't care. He is a narcissist. I tell you what, when somebody will not take responsibility for a goddamn thing, when they blame everybody, all they do is blame Trump. Trump ain't been in office in almost 3 years. You know, and then the whole January 6th was the worst thing since the Civil War. And then they want to lie and say that there was police officers were killed. That no, they weren't. Police officers were in the crowd inciting a riot. Yeah, that's been proven. They got 41,000 hours of footage that they gave to Tucker Carlson, and the Democrats are throwing a fit over it now. If that January 6th insurrection was such a horrible day in the history of our democracy, it's just a democracy. We don't have a democracy. It's a representative republic, idiots. Okay? And I wish we didn't have that, because you can see this is stupid when you have the masses get together and under beliefs, right? These beliefs that I believe this, I believe. Why do you believe anything? Look back a year, 2 years, 5 years ago. Think about what you believed, what you knew to be true. Ask yourself, is it true today? Probably not. everything you think you believe, it always, all of a sudden, oh shit. I mean, come on. We believe in the magic man. We believe in a long-haired carpenter guy that wandered around for 33 years, 2,000 and some odd years ago. And we read a book that has words written in red because those are God's words. Well, who said that? Who, anybody talk to God recently? Are you talking to yourself? You got a guy that wanders off and does some DMT or takes some peyote or something and comes back with stone tablets after talking to a burning bush. And he comes back with the 10 Commandments that pretty much boil down to, like, do no harm. Like, don't fucking kill people. We're supposed to be this Christian, God-fearing country, right? Yeah, tell that to the million Iraqis that were innocent and were fucking killed over WMDs that George Bush and Bob Mueller greenlit. Bob Mueller, that's right, the guy that was behind, the guy that investigated the whole Russiagate thing over the P-tapes and the Steele dossier. It didn't take very long for everybody to let him right back in there to do another fucking snow job on everyone, right? This is what politics gets you. It gets you a lying bunch of thieving bastards that are worthless. All they want is the money. They're all about the money and its power. Think about it. How many of you out there that watch this show really want to be the one making laws? Like, we need more laws? Good grief. There's too many as there is. If we just would live by the same, it's very simple, and I say it at the end of every show, in all things be kind and do no harm. If you look at your decision making and you think about that before you make a choice to do something, am I going to be harming somebody? You can harm yourself all you want. And that's the thing, it's not the government's job to protect you from yourself. That's why I got a problem with all these drug laws. I think drugs should be legalized all across the board. I don't even think it should be a discussion. You should be allowed to do whatever you want to do to yourself. Their job is not to protect you from yourself. You know why they want to, though? They need you to be out there working, peasant. That's what it's all about. We're all peasants to them. That's it. Look at the reaction that they had to these folks in Ohio. In Ohio, everybody should take that. Everybody should look at this and step back from it for a minute and, take a couple minutes and do some thinking about this shit. Set your remote down, turn off whatever bullshit it is that you're watching, unless you're watching this show, which nobody is anyways, but step back and think about things. Look at what we're doing here. Because we want to argue and fight and piss and moan about all this shit and hate our neighbor because they've got a different sign in their yard or they worship a different magic man or they go to a different building on Sundays, and we're not in step with that. Their doctrine is different than our doctrine. You're not going to be on this earth long enough to even know. Everybody says they know this, they know that. You don't know anything. That's the only thing. The first step to even trying to come to a point where you have any wisdom is the admission that you're an idiot. I'm writing an article right now, and it started out with I have two truths. One is that I'm a useful idiot, and the number two is that I would like to be able to remove the idiot part from number one. But that's not going to happen. Because we're here for such a short period of time that we are all idiots. Nobody knows everything. Nobody knows anything. We think we do. We want to fight about it. We want to argue about it. We want to stomp and clap and yell and scream and get phone tough on the internet and talk shit to people. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then we see things that happen, like what happened to these poor people out there. Look, I mean, you've got people, look what happened. I mean, nobody's even talking about all the, I don't even know what the death toll is in Turkey. I mean, if Joe Biden's going to be flying around the world, he should have been flying over there, trying to offer those people a little help. No, we got another $500 million, and even more for the Ukraine. Ukraine's free, and you're there. Yeah, because he's on the take from them fuckers. It's only the most corrupt fucking country on the planet, and the goddamn thing could have been over. You know. Could have been done. And then he fires up Putin. Putin's pissed off now. I mean, you know, this thing that happened in Ohio, it's going to be nothing if the nukes start flying. That's going to be it. Bye. Then what? Thanks, Biden. That's who y'all voted for, allegedly. This he's just pushing us right on into World War III. And this would never, ever even have been on the table with Trump in office, you know? And everybody wants to talk about the insurrection and this and that and the other thing. Well, you know what? Guess what? Those people turned out to be fucking right, because that election was meddled with. It was tampered with by the fucking FBI and social media corporations. Sorry, not sorry. That's what happened. That's what happened. They did everything they could to I mean, the dude sat in a fucking basement for 50 days. Trump's out there packing college football stadiums, wherever he goes, packed full. This dude sits in his basement. Comes out looking totally weird, you know? Like Bill Burr talks about hair implants because he's got ant legs stapled to his head. I mean, you know, the people that were upset about it had a right to be upset. Now, do I agree with what they did? No, I don't. I don't think that was a good idea. However, when you have a group of upset people, and then on top of that, you have agents of the government, be it the Capitol Police, be it FBI agents, be it CIA, whatever they were, that are antagonizing people, riling them up. Guys like Ray Epps. He didn't go in, but boy, there's video. Everybody's seen it. He's yelling at one point they start chanting, "Fed, Fed, Fed." He's telling them, "We gotta go into the Capitol. I might get arrested. We gotta go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol." He didn't go in, did he? Who was he? And then he was number 16 on the FBI's most wanted list. And now he's a victim. I heard him crying on some stupid show the other day. "Oh, I'm stuck in my RV somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. I had to shut down my business." Well, would you rather go to that fucking jail in D.C.? Because those fools that have been in there, they're not having much fun. I know what's up with that place, and that is not a place you want to be. And some of those bastards have been in there ever since, you know? Yeah, did they make a bad decision? Sure. Was it an insurrection? No. You're talking about a bunch of people that are Second Amendment gun-toting people. If they wanted to do an insurrection, they would have gone in there and taken the goddamn thing over. There's no guns. The only person that you had Ashley Babbitt get shot in the neck by that one cop, Michael Byrd. He comes out and says, I have no doubt that I saved countless lives that day. Why did you only shoot once, fool? You had two cops standing there. If you watch the footage, they're looking at the people. They got a stairwell full of these people. They're bashing out the window. You could be right behind them, right behind Ashley Babbitt. You've got two SWAT cops. They've got, tactical gear on, helmets. They've got, AR rifles, not assault rifle. AR does not stand for assault rifle, people. It stands for Armalite rifle. Okay. So these people keep talking about assault weapons. This is an assault weapon if I want it to be. If I want this to be an assault weapon, it's an assault weapon. I mean, any number of things I've got sitting here can be an assault weapon. Trust me. You make an assault weapon out of just about anything. It doesn't matter. Anyway, beside the point. So you had two cops right behind him in the stairwell. You had cops looking at him while they're bashing the window. They're standing there. They don't even have their guns drawn. They're just standing there. And then this guy comes around the corner and he pops off one shot and shoots her in the neck. Shoots a female in the neck. No more shots are fired. Kills her. That saved countless, even though you've got countless people in that stairwell that are still coming through regardless. How do you save anybody? He murdered somebody is what he did. He murdered a female that was trying to jump through the window. And, you play silly games, you win silly prizes. But I don't think that she deserved to die that day. You had a couple people that stroked out. You had one police officer that had 2 strokes the next day. He had a history of problems. You had 2 officers that committed suicide, one like the next day, one the next week. You had 2 guys that were there for the rally that one had a heart attack and the other one, I think, stroked out, but neither one of them even went in. So they weren't even in there. You had Roseanne Boylan. Now, that'll be interesting to see. That's all up in the air. Who knows what happened? There's, I saw footage today of her getting, whacked with a fucking stick. The cop had a stick like from the yard or something. They said that she had a drug overdose. No. They had a private doctor do a separate autopsy, and he came back and said that it was asphyxiation. She was taking Adderall. I don't know anything about that. I know that that's basically prescription speed. But if she'd been on it, I've seen people that are on that shit. When they don't have it, they go through withdrawal and shit. But I don't know. I don't think she OD'd. Who knows what happened? But, if this footage is, if the Democrats are so adamant about this Insurrection Day being the worst thing since the Civil War, then wouldn't they be happy that 41,000 hours of different angles of footage was coming out so the American people could see it? Wouldn't they want everybody to see it? Why don't they want everybody to see it? Why do they think it needs to be suppressed? Oh, because then you can see where the cameras. You can see where the cameras are anyways, fool. It's not hard to see where cameras are, you dipshits. Jesus Christ, all you gotta do is take a look around. Nobody ever does do that, though. I'm always looking. Just because where I've been and what I've been. I'm always looking for, I guess I got a different perception on things than most people do, but, you can call it paranoia, whatever. I just want to be in the know or be as close to it as I can. But what I do know is that we got a mess going on here. We got a mess, and it's not getting better. And it's not going to get better. Because we've got to completely change our program. And we're the ones that are, you, me, and all of us, we're the ones letting this happen. The people, we are the ones that are 340 million in this country that are fighting with each other over pronouns and bathrooms and bullshit. And we're letting these different fights, these different arguments be perpetuated by the people that want them to happen. And we're allowing them to do it. It's like listening to the rumor mill, like when you're in fucking junior high. Oh, hey, he said this about you. Well, you don't go talk to, you just, I got in fights like that. And they do the same thing to the other dude. They just want to see you get in a fight, And then you have that happen once or twice or whatever, and you realize, shit, this guy never said anything. I didn't, after you get done fighting, you talk about it a week or two later, and you realize that neither one of you said anything about each other, and you end up being friends. It's the same thing. It's just on a different level, It's the same. Politics is the same thing. It's just these politicians. It's the same as the guy that's running for the high school class president. It tells you you're going to have Mountain Dew on every corner and every pop machine, and he's going to put more pop machines in, and you're going to have hamburgers and pizza every day, and it's going to be from McDonald's and Pizza Hut. You're not going to eat any more shit food, and he's got about as much say in it as fucking Joe Biden does. That dude has no say in anything. The only thing he has a say in is nothing. They put what he has to say on the teleprompter, and then he goes off the script, and that's when he gets into trouble. Listening to him today, I don't even know what he was saying over there in Poland. It was mush mouth bullshit. Thankfully, those people don't speak our language, I guess. It's pathetic. It's unnerving. It's pathetic to even think that somebody like that is the one that's in charge of this whole, it's not even a nation, it's a corporation. He's the CEO of the Corporation of the United States of America. That guy. That's your guy, folks. I hope nothing bad happens to anybody else. because nobody cares and nobody's coming. They don't give two shits unless you're a Ukrainian. Unless you're, I don't know, if you're Zelensky, then you get unchecked money. I mean, nobody's even auditing it, seeing where it's going. Nothing. They said 30% of the weapons and shit are making it to the battlefield. The rest of it, it's probably getting sold on the black market to China or who knows who. And they probably bought up all the $90 billion worth of shit that idiot left over there in Afghanistan. Because I guarantee those Taliban didn't know how to run that shit. So he's pretty much just sold everybody out. And, you know, all you out there that allegedly voted for him, good job. I hope you're happy, you know. I mean, I'm not one to sit there and have the lesser of two evils argument, because I think evil is evil. But this dude is corrupt and a jackass, and he's arrogant. And that's that's the worst part of it, is the arrogance. You know, a man that won't take responsibility. You know, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. And when I find out about it, when I realize that I do what I can to make sure that I'm letting everybody know that I screwed up. And if I did somebody wrong, then I'm going to let you know. This guy, he won't even accept responsibility for anything. It's all Trump's fault. My predecessor. But he sure as hell took credit for the vaccine, didn't he? That's something I wouldn't want to be taking much credit for about this time. Just saying. I don't know. But they already got the next one ready for the next pandemic, and Bill Gates has already got that thing planned out. So be ready. It's going to be called SEERS, SEERS. And it's going to be a doozy coming in 2025. So be ready. They're going to have the vaccine ready and everything. They'll roll out the virus and the vaccine probably on the same day, just to make sure everybody has it. Because this last one was just a test run, you know. It was just a test run to see how compliant you all were going to be. And y'all did a good job. Y'all were very compliant. Y'all believed everything. You jumped right in line. You got your jabs. You got your pokey pokes. You got your backup pokey pokes. Then you got sick twice in a row. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You had your jabby jabs and your pokey pokes. And then you got sick twice in a row. Just like old Obama did. Because the vaccine worked 100%. I mean, it was just great. I mean, you only got sick twice. Guess what? I got it twice. No pokey poke, no jabby jab. Nope. Not going to happen either. Not that I'm anti-vax. I'm all for vaccines. Measles, mumps, rubella, the rest of it, polio, yeah, shit, yeah. mRNA? Nah. Don't think so. You know, you got no idea. You know? I mean, every other vaccine in human history has taken at least 5 years to roll out. This one was a few months. Yeah, I don't think so. You know, maybe if you're, you know, geriatric, cigarette smoker, obese. I don't know. Ask a number of ask the guy that plays for the Buffalo Bills. He won't even talk about it. I'm not saying anything one way or another, folks. You know, they're 100% effective. Effective at what? I'm not sure. You know, just keep drinking the Kool-Aid, though, because it's good. You know, especially I like the Purple Source Rex. That one's good. What is that? Across a grape and lemonade. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good Kool-Aid. Just throw a cyanide pill in there and, you know, slop her down. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope everybody out there is good, especially all you folks out there in Ohio and the western side of Pennsylvania. Anybody that's anywhere near that goddamn, you know, that 200 square mile cloud of poison that's floating around out there. And I hope that when this blizzard comes through, I'm not anticipating good things. We'll see what happens. But, you know, make sure and stand for the flag song, though. And, you know, Joe Obama's got your back. So does Mayor Pete. He's just going on another paternity leave today while people are fucking, shut out of their, they can't go back home and shit, but that's okay. He don't give a fuck. He's going to get there someday. He said that earlier today. Someday he's going to make it there when the time is right. And because some people show up to get a job done and some people show up for action, and he's Mr. Action. If anything we've seen from Pete Buttigieg, it's he is a man of action. I mean, watch him ride that bicycle. On that note, feel free to share the meme. Mayor Pete doing his thing.